Well, it's one of the biggest games of the day in the Benny Chancellor Classic from the Merrill Center in Katy, Texas, as the undefeated Alabama Crimson Tide battle the Gonzaga Bulldogs. And with that, everybody, we say hello. My name is Garrett Jones, alongside the former head coach at Minnesota and Texas Tech, Marlene Stolings. We've been looking forward to this one since we saw the tournament schedule come out.
I'm hyped. What a game we have in front of us. Gonzaga, versatile scoring team, can score from the three-point line at all 5 positions. Alabama, who's known for their defense, but also a potent three-point shooting team. Should be an exciting matchup. And
the Trong sisters certainly a formidable foe for Jessica Timmons in Alabama. She was a great start for Alabama. She, the Charlotte, North Carolina native, with 14 points against the Cardinals yesterday.
She was outstanding. 14 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals, just solid for 40 minutes. Hit 2 threes. Really stood out for Alabama yesterday. And
Gonzaga on the other side, 102 points yesterday against Liberty. They're going to go as far as the Trong sisters from right here in Houston can take them as we key in on K-League.
How fun was it for them to have their homecoming game here in Houston, return home, and combine for 42 points. There's a large contingent of Gonzaga fans here. The Trong sisters, as you mentioned, are from right here in Houston.
Jersey Village High School. Kaylin and Kaylee. We're just about ready for the tip as you get a look at Christy Curry, the head coach there at Alabama. Her 11th season. Phenomenal job yesterday helping this group get to 6-0.
I was really happy for Coach. A big win yesterday for their program. First time beating a top 25 team since 2021. And I'm sure they're still playing off the high from that going into this game.
Coach Lisa Fortier on the other side, number 5 in the NCAA win percentage with a ridiculous 798 clip. A tip-off controlled by the Bulldogs. We are underway from the Merrill Center. As we mentioned, the Trong sisters, somebody to keep an eye on for sure. This is Kaylin, who's more of a floor general. Top 20 in the NCAA in assists. Kaylee Trong wears number 11. Her first touch. Yvonne Ejim, somebody to watch in the low post. She scores the first 2 points of the day.
And Gonzaga, all 5 starters average in double-digit scoring. Doesn't happen very often, so they have a lot of weapons out there.
This is Loyal McQueen running the point for the Crimson Tide. That will work for Aaliyah Nye. She had a big-time shot late in the win over Louisville to really put the game on ice. The Cardinals were threatening to take the lead late in that 4th quarter, and they turned to one of their veteran leaders for a big bucket.
Oh, and it was huge.
Coach talked about the contingency of support that the Trong sisters have here, playing less than 20 minutes away from where they played their high school basketball. Triple won't go for Brianna Maxwell. Transfer from Utah. One of those double-digit scorers Coach Stallings mentioned. This is Sarah Ashley Barker. Speaking of transfers, the Georgia transfer comes over and starts out the scoring for Alabama.
You know, and I was really impressed with Barker yesterday. She had to find her points in different ways. Louisville defended her very physical. And she ended up with 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 steals. She never wavered.
Boy, Kaylee Trong will not hesitate. She has been ridiculous in this tournament. 25 points, a career high yesterday.
Tell you what, Gonzaga is a high-octane offensive system. Anytime you have 5 players in double figures, you're very dangerous. And let's talk about their experience. They have 4 graduate students in the starting lineup and 1 true senior in Ejim. Scoring big and their experience. That's a great combination.
Gonzaga's lone loss this season. The only blemish between these two. Otherwise, 11-1. That was a game where they played a ranked Washington State team in Pullman. And, Coach, we talked with head coach Lisa Fortier earlier this week. She said they thought they could have won that game, but in the end just couldn't quite get it done.
Yes, they were really bummed about that. They felt they had their chances and just didn't pull it out. They've been fired up ever since, and they've played like it.
Yvonne Ejim faces up for 2 more.
Tell you what, she is extremely versatile. She can step out, shoot from the outside, face up, catch and shoot, put it on the floor and go by you with her athleticism.
Roaring start for Gonzaga coming off a romp yesterday. They beat Liberty 102-59 on this very floor. There's Jessica Timmons, the player we spotlighted. Walk down to 5. Cody loses the handle. In essence, Cody coughed it up. Gonzaga on the break. Ejim. Offensive rebound for Gonzaga. Oh my, that was from Curry range. Kaylin Strong rings it up.
Feeling it in front of the hometown crowd early on here.
Talk about the boost that having a big contingency of fans will give you. Tons of relatives and friends in the stands today. Barker can't get it to roll. Since Cody can't handle it.
You know, with Gonzaga, not only are they a veteran team, but they're a veteran team that's been together. They don't have a bunch of portal kids. This group has played together for a long time.
Here's a look at the 3 from Trong. That's ridiculous. That's out near the midcourt line. Caitlin Clark range. Trong with a big time start. Her first triple of the day. Alabama coming off the NCAA tournament run a year ago. Gonzaga has made 14 of the last 15 NCAA tournaments under Coach Fortier. Deljanae Burger-Williams turns the ball over. This is her first appearance of the tournament. And on the run, Kaylee Trong is fouled. His first foul on Alabama. Crimson Tide, a narrow victory over number 20 Louisville, 78-73 yesterday. They're in trouble to start as Kaylee Trong makes it a 10-point game.
I'll tell you, from a scout perspective, they're a handful. You can't focus in too much on one particular player because of their versatility and the fact that all 5 players are able to put it in the basket.
Carly Weathers, an unfriendly bounce. Sarah Ashley Barker resets. 9, turned away. A little look at the defense there for Gonzaga as Eliza Hollingsworth turns it away. Ejim turns down the jumper. Such a disciplined Gonzaga attack. 17-1 in the West Coast Conference last year. 7 to shoot for Egypt. Maxwell, book it. Brianna Maxwell makes it a 13-point game.
You know, Gonzaga's a staple in the NCAA tournament. They've been to 14 of the last 15 NCAA tournaments, and we're seeing early here why that's the case. Quite the tradition there. It started with Kelly Graves, who's at Oregon, and Coach Fortier has continued it on here in the last 10 years.
That's a rare mistake by Gonzaga here early. Alabama trying to catch in. Barker can't hit. Ice cold start for Alabama, just 1 of 9 from the field. Trong. Hollingsworth coming off a career high effort yesterday in her own right with 22 points. Ridiculous range again. That one's not there, and a bump on Hollingsworth.
And Gonzaga again is so hard to guard. Great read there by Trong, just didn't go down.
Well, Tamara Collier, the high school coach for the Trong sisters, said they used to call Kaylin Curry. You can see why there with the range. Gonzaga up 15-2 as we go to the break. Well, a dream start for Gonzaga through the first 5 minutes of this game. They have been able to continue what rolled for them in yesterday afternoon's defeat of Liberty. Alabama looking for answers on the other end. It's been a very slow start. Just 1 of 9 on field goals, 0 of 5 from outside.
And Garrett, Gonzaga's red hot. To your point, they're shooting 75% from the field, whereas Alabama's shooting 11% and 0 for 5 from 3.
Jessica Timmons gets the roll. Finally, a fortuitous bounce for the Crimson Tide. Haley Trong works her way in for Gonzaga. Rating her own shot, but she's 0 for her last 2. Crimson Tide trying to trim it back down to a single-digit game. Loyal McQueen, one of the veterans of this group. Can't hit the runner. And it's one of the new additions to the roster, Essence Cody, grabbing the rebound and drawing the foul.
You know, one of the things I think is so important when you play against Gonzaga is your ability to play one-on-one defense. You're not going to be able to get caught up doubling, hedging for too long, things like that when you play against Gonzaga, because they're going to burn you with a pass out with all the weapons that they possess.
Essence Cody nails the first free throw. Part of this banner recruiting class for Alabama, the number 22 recruit in the class of 2023. Gets the offensive rebound off the miss. Jessica Timmons. Oh, the pretty shot out the window. And suddenly Alabama has strung together 5 straight. And
she was big for them yesterday. It's nice to see her get rolling a little bit here in the first quarter again today.
Gonzaga raced out to a 15-2 lead. First touch for Mock Hybens. Ellie Stokes gives it up. Nye with the steal. Aaliyah on the run. Timmons. Still a lid on that bucket from distance. Alabama has not knocked down a three-pointer, I should say, in its first 6 tries.
And for Gonzaga, you see Trong and Ejim ready to come back in. They lost a little bit of their momentum here when they went to their bench. So Coach Fortier is going to put Trong and Ejim right back in the game here.
Trong.
The other Trong.
Twin sisters from Jersey Village High School. Timmons, no. And a whistle will give it back to Gonzaga. Ejim coming back in for the Zags, along with Caitlin Trong. Has it been more poor shot selection from Alabama's side, or just great defense by Gonzaga leading to the 3 for 14 start, Coach?
I think Alabama's just a little cold here to start. They're getting some good looks. Those shots will go down. They just have to stay with it. Make sure they're crashing the boards, getting some second shots. I think more importantly for Alabama is going to be their defense here and how they're guarding Gonzaga. Again, I think one-on-one defense is so crucial against a team that is so potent offensively at all 5 positions.
And Alabama on the other side, one of the best defensive teams in the country. They came into this tournament #1 in scoring defense, allowing under 43 a game.
Absolutely. They were impressive yesterday against Louisville. We got to see it live and up close. And again here with Gonzaga, it's going to be really important that their defensive prowess shows through. But Zags, again, their veteran play really stands out to me. The reads that they're making, I mean, they're next level right there on that ball screen. The read that Trong made, you don't see a lot of college players able to make that read. So the fact that they've got such an experienced team really is showing through early in this game.
Yeah, we talked about the Trong sisters, of course, graduates. Yvonne Ejim is also a senior, and a Maxwell graduate in her own right. So is Eliza Hollingsworth. So you can see why some of that experience is coming through. They have played a ton of college basketball and done most of it together.
Yes, I'd be curious to know if there's another college team that starts 4 graduate 5th-year players and 1 true senior, and a group that's played together for most of that time, with the exception of Maxwell transferring in from Utah, but she's been with them 2 years. This will be her 2nd season.
Oh, another one of those transfers. Hybens coming over from Syracuse, able to knock it down. Gonzaga 3 of its first 7 from outside to start. Aaliyah Cody fouled late. And Essence will go back to the free throw line.
How about Hybens? You bring 6'5" off the bench and she knocks that shot down. Not a bad luxury to have off your bench.
That's when you know it's your tournament thus far. Gonzaga, as we said, has probably been the most impressive team. The only other one in that discussion is this Alabama team, who got its first ranked win since 2022. A victory over Tennessee in conference play a couple years ago. The last time they've taken down a top 25 foe. Prior to yesterday.
And I'm eager to see if Weathers gets going today. She was big for Alabama off the bench yesterday. 3 of 4 from the 3-point line, 3 rebounds. sophomore from Laredo, Tennessee. She really shined for the Crimson Tide yesterday.
Coach Christy Curry told us early in the week, this freshman class is growing up before our eyes. Says they're doing what they haven't had to do before in recent practices. They're going to need them to contribute if they're going to take down an awesome Gonzaga team. Curly leads by 11. Final minute and change of this first quarter. Merrill Center in Katy, Texas. Callie Little rolls it off. Callie Stokes, the redshirt sophomore, to draw the whistle. Coach Fortier will bring back on Eliza Hollingsworth as Stokes heads to the stripe. Stokes, a player that they're excited about. A redshirt sophomore's kind of had to earn her way into this rotation. Paid off in a big way. Their patience with her did. She picked up an all-freshman on her last season. Brilliant start to this game, up by 13. Nye banks it in.
And she called it. I heard it over here.
So you know it counts. No question, it counts if you call bank.
Absolutely. Another player that had a great game yesterday for Alabama. 12 points. She hit 2 big threes for them.
Tie up. This possession will stay with Gonzaga. Shanna Cunningham battling for that board. Shot clock and game clock about 11 seconds apart. Strong takes the clock down to under 8. Stokes with 3. Callie has to heave. Oh, nearly got it from the long distance shot. An offensive board, and Hollingsworth makes good.
Wow, way to stay with it. Great old board by Hollingsworth.
1 second left. Timmons. What a quarter on both sides of the ball for Gonzaga. Strong with a triple. Each of them steps outside. All Zags after one in a 12-point game. There's a look at Lisa Fortier in her 10th season. Only coach in this program's history with 9 or more 20-win seasons. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. Gonzaga gets a lot of recognition for what the men's program has done over the past decade or so, but this women's program has been really just as good in the past several seasons in the regular campaign. They're trying to make deeper runs into the NCAA tournament, and the way you do that, coach, is really testing yourself here early in the non-conference slate like they are this weekend.
Well, without question, you're exactly right, and this is one of the best Zag teams I've seen in a while. I think they have a chance to make a deep run in March with the veterans and the talent they have, the versatility per position, the depth on their bench. And I certainly believe they're a top 25 team. I look for them to enter the top 25 relatively soon this season.
Jessica Timmons puts the ball on the floor. Says Aaliyah Nye. Weathers almost banked that one in. And Yvonne Ejim able to snatch the board.
You know, the other thing as a coach, I firmly believe that winning breeds winning. Success breeds success, and you see that with Gonzaga. They're used to winning. They came into this contest. They don't enter these contests, oh, it's a Power 5 school and things like that. With their demeanor, their approach, you see it. They're very confident, and that comes from a lot of winning.
On the other side, Christy Curry told us, look, we managed expectations. We've lived up to the hype through the first 5 or so games of the season. It's time for us to be tested. You know, they had this matchup against Gonzaga certainly circled on their calendar. We have a whistle on a stoppage of play on this end. Ball got wedged between the iron. So far, so good for Alabama. An undefeated start. Gonzaga's given them a very tough challenge today, but the Crimson Tide have turned up the interior defense. That is until Ejim able to hit.
Way to stay with it. An unusual miss. Initially, they're down low by Ejim. Great seal. That was a design play on the baseline out of bounds. High-low to Ejim. But they stay with it and get the bucket.
7 early points for Ejim. Alabama turns it over. L'Oreal McQueen stepped on the baseline.
You know, we haven't talked a lot about Gonzaga's defense, but they defend. They work hard. That's the thing that stands out to me, their intensity and their work ethic.
Trong able to reverse. Largest lead of the day for Gonzaga. Trong. Boy, she never hesitates. Fading away on the 3 to make it a 17-point game.
Looking like Curry on that shot.
Right. Her high school coach, Tamara Collier, called her Lee LeBron and Lynn Curry for the way that they played at Jersey Village. Sarah Ashley Barker, quiet early. They need the Georgia transfer to get going. Berger Williams.
What a joy to coach the Trong twins. You hear the coaches talk about just what good young women that they are. Great individuals on the court, off the court, fun to be around. That's certainly a joy as a coach to have that on your team.
If you're Alabama, how do you respond to get back into this game?
Well, it's got to start with their defense. And again, Gonzaga is hard to guard, to their credit. But they've got to make Gonzaga a little more uncomfortable here. Again, one-on-one defensive intensity of pressure. You see Weathers gets hit on the screen there. Any mistake you make defensively, Gonzaga reads it at an unbelievably high level for a college team.
That was Caitlin Curry with the rare miss. She went 8 of 9.
But Alabama's got to string together some stops and then obviously put the ball in the basket.
Barker. Really tough shot for her, just 1 out of 4. She also took a while to get settled in the game yesterday in the win over Louisville.
Well, credit to Louisville. I thought they were really physical with her and guarded her really hard.
Ejim a force to be reckoned with here early, and Christy Curry needs a timeout. Gonzaga's cushion has swelled to 19 with 6:21 left before the break. We got more hoops coming your way in just a moment.
Bombas. Give the good.
Oh, a 19-point game outside of Houston. Garrett Jones, the former head coach, Marlene Stoggs here with you. As Berger Williams gets in the lane and lays it in, that makes it a 17-point game. Coach Stoggs, what does Alabama need to do to get back in this game?
Well, first of all, nicely designed play coming out of the timeout. After timeout play, getting a layup there. Nice job by Alabama. You know, Alabama came into the game as the #1 scoring defense in the nation, holding their opponents to just 42 points a game, and Gonzaga could possibly hit that here in just the first half. So again, defensively, Alabama on paper is superior. Again, #1 in the nation, but you're going against a high-powered, potent offensive team, so they've got to really increase their defensive intensity here and make Gonzaga a lot more uncomfortable. They're just very comfortable in what they're doing offensively here.
Alabama's starting to look a little more comfortable too. They scored 4 straight points and get the basketball back.
Yes, and just chip away at the lead. You don't have to get it all back at once, but do it by forcing stops on the defensive end of the floor. They need to get consecutive stops. Cool Gonzaga off a little bit.
And you mentioned the offense for Gonzaga. Alabama hasn't seen a group with quite this potency this season. They dominated South Florida, a really good team, 70-41 on their home floor.
I'll tell you what, I don't think too many teams have. Obviously, South Carolina's been impressive early on with their offensive explosion. But I don't think there are too many teams in the country with this many scoring threats on the floor at any given time.
That was a 3 for Maxwell. Something she does almost better than anybody else on the floor. By the way, you mentioned South Carolina. They won 101-19 yesterday. Complete domination of Mississippi Valley State. One of the best teams in this country that Alabama will have to face later this year. Oh, what a finish. Kelly Stokes creates her own shot.
Sweet. Caught it in the air and put it in.
McQueen in trouble. Barker pivots. Really tough start for Sarah Ashley Barker. Just 1 of 4.
Tell you the Trong twins see the floor exceptionally well. They see things before their teammates do at times. They hit one of their teammates on the head yesterday with a pass right under the basket. They just read so well. And, you know, that's something you can't teach. That's innate. You either have it or you don't at the point guard position. They're very, very good at that.
Cody snatches the offensive rebound and will go to the line for a couple shots. A look at the fast break, coach.
You know, that's just pretty basketball there. Great pass, great finish. They're fun to watch.
They've really got it all. We talked about the shooting that they can bring. They shot 41% from three-point last year. They've got size and they're super athletic, as you saw there from Stokes.
Cody, a freshman for Alabama that I think has a tremendous upside. Talked to Coach Curry a little bit about her yesterday. I thought she was crucial at certain key points in the game yesterday against Louisville. Really grew up in some areas, but she's going to be really good big picture for Coach Curry and her staff. They're known for player development, and they'll bring her along.
One of Coach Curry's assistants making homecoming, Sydney Ann Cottrell. Her dad, Ron, is the head coach at Houston Christian. Big opportunity for her to get to come back home. First year on Coach Curry's staff. 7 to shoot. Rebound. Won't quite go.
And Alabama got a little lucky there. Cody hedging out. You've got to hedge high on Gonzaga. They're going to come off that screen looking to score. They got the open shot there and just missed it. But you've got to, if you're going to hedge or switch, you've got to do it really high against Gonzaga.
That's Brianna Maxwell. Gonzaga doubling up Alabama in the early going. Trong tried the no-look Patrick Mahomes style pass. That one wouldn't quite work.
One of the few times she's late with a pass.
McQueen with a nice move. Boyle McQueen's first 2 points of the day.
You know, we talk about decision-making and point guard ability. Thought McQueen was outstanding at that yesterday for Alabama. Her decision-making was top-notch. You know, she was the Gatorade Player of the Year coming out of South Carolina yesterday. 12 points, 4 assists against 15th-ranked Louisville.
Gonzaga able to draw the foul. That's Cody will head to the bench for Christy Curry. The Trong sisters replace each other in the line.
I'll tell you, Coach Fortier has to love this group. A Trong for a Trong.
What a beautiful cut. And again, Kelly Stokes able to lay it in.
Another thing about Gonzaga, they move so well without the ball.
Meg Newman in the post. Good game for her yesterday. And a foul on the floor.
You talk a lot offensively, how, when, and where to give somebody the ball. Gonzaga understands that at such a high level because they've played together for such a long period of time.
Sarah Ashley Barker back in. Averages over 18 points per game. Had a big effort yesterday. 18 points against Louisville, but did foul out. Weathers turned it over. Giveaway number 5 for Alabama, and McQueen gets it right back.
There we go. Alabama needs some more of that. Great heads-up play by McQueen. Gonzaga got a little loosey-goosey there inbounding the ball.
Esther Little has made her first appearance for Gonzaga. Runner drops. That's Maxwell again. 7 points for her. Final 90 seconds of this first half. 9. Alabama just a paltry 1 of 11 from 3-point. Strong. What a find. Oh my, that might be play of the day as Brianna Maxwell strings it up.
I'm going to say it again, this Gonzaga group is fun to watch. Again, remember Alabama's holding opponents to 42 points a game. Gonzaga is going to eclipse that here at the half.
And it's interesting kind of the contrast of styles as we take a look at the first duel here. That was Loyal McQueen slicing in and getting the bucket. Coach, we were kind of talking about the difference in styles between these two schools. It's also different because Alabama clearly has a star player. Coach Christy Curry told us earlier this week there is no question that they want the ball in the hands of Sarah Ashley Barker in a late game situation. She's also their unquestioned leader. This Gonzaga team doesn't necessarily have a single star that they rotate around. Instead, it's more of a balanced effort with 5 great players.
Yeah, again, with 5 players in double figures, they share the ball very well. They're okay with any of their teammates getting the credit on any given night, but just so potent with what they can do offensively.
A tough break for Carly Weathers in Alabama. Give the ball right back to Gonzaga.
Well, something else you see with Gonzaga is how well they get along with each other. They said that, you know, those seniors decided to come back again because they just enjoy playing college basketball, being around each other. They love Gonzaga, coaching staff, and it's just something they wanted to continue. They didn't want it to end. And you can see that when they're out here. They have fun. Great camaraderie on their team.
Shade over 30 seconds left to play in the second quarter. Newman with the steal. Comes Alabama with the shot clock off. McQueen, travel. And again, the Gonzaga defense tightens up. Crimson Tide just 30% from the field today, 1 of 11 from outside. They've given it away 7 times.
Another advantage I think Gonzaga has is, you know, with the portal, it's a lot more difficult to have consistency and continuity within your team. You're bringing in new players on and off throughout the year. Again, Gonzaga hasn't done that so much. They've got a lot of continuity.
Strong able to get an off-balance shot to go before the break, and Alabama forced to just dribble it out. The Bulldogs doubling up the Crimson Tide after the first 2 quarters. Thanks to highlight reel plays like this one. 3 more for Brianna Maxwell, and Gonzaga leads 43-21 as we break. Well, we talked about in the open, these were the 2 teams that have been the most impressive in this tournament thus far. And Gonzaga proving its mettle with a 22-point cushion at the break. The Zags have been unbelievable to start. See if they can keep it going. We'll be right back for the start of the second half. Jones and Marlene Stallings here with you. And a lot of highlights in that first half, most of them in Gonzaga's favor, Coach, thanks to their brilliant 3-point shooting.
Yes, they were just outstanding. They go 46% from 3, 54% field goal shooting in general. On the flip side, Bama only 29% from the field and 9% from 3-point line. So right there is the difference in the game.
Alabama's been able to work it inside just a little bit, but it hasn't been nearly enough. This is a group coming off of the upset win over Louisville yesterday, a top 20 victory. Gonzaga feeling like it belongs in that discussion. As we mentioned, Alabama's had some chances to get back in this game, but Gonzaga has had a counterpunch ready every time that Alabama has mounted a strike.
Well, again, Gonzaga is so potent offensively that you've got to string together some consecutive stops here, chip away at the lead, get back into it 1 possession at a time. Don't look at it holistically. And I think that's real important for Alabama here coming out of the half.
Anything stand out when you take a look at the halftime stats?
Well, the offensive explosion by Gonzaga. I mean, just crazy, crazy good numbers. I mean, you look at that, and I mean, your team shoot 46% from three, 54 field goal percentage, and I mean, they're just doing everything right. They're really comfortable out there. Alabama, on the other hand, hasn't been able to get into any kind of rhythm or flow. And again, credit to Gonzaga's defense is something. They're so good offensively. We have a tendency to talk about that more, but they work really hard on defense, and they don't let you have easy buckets.
Alabama just 1 of 11 from three-point land. Do you think it's more of Gonzaga's forced them into bad shots, or do you expect those shots to start to fall here in the second half?
Well, some of those should start to fall. They are getting some decent looks, but they're also getting some quick catch-and-shoot looks that are a little bit rushed. Again, credit to Gonzaga's defense.
Leoni and Alabama trying to claw back into this game. The Trong sisters with an outpouring of support, playing back in their hometown of Houston, or at least nearby, about 30 minutes away in Katy. Wow, a fading triple. Maxwell continues to shoulder the load. She's got 12.
I'll tell you what, they look so comfortable out there. They're shooting fadeaways, throwing behind the back passes. I mean, they look like a pro team out here right now.
Mark it as a long two. Zags get a steal.
And there they are again defensively.
This is Trong into the front court. Von Ejim with a nice first half, and she keeps it rolling here in the second. 11 points for her.
I tell you what, Gonzaga can come at you from so many different ways. They can go high-low to Ejim as they did right there. They can come down in transition, catch and shoot to three. They can face up and drive. They're outstanding. They have outstanding court vision and great movement without the ball.
McQueen. Alabama just 1 of 12 from deep. Stolen away by Trong.
Gonzaga's defense again.
Kaylee Trong able to reverse. Kaylin. Long rebound to Timmons. 9. Swiped away by Ejim.
You know, I was talking earlier about how hard Gonzaga works on the defensive end of the floor. Right there's a prime example. Alabama thinks they have a wide open layup. They don't put enough zip on that pass, and Ejim flies in there and takes it away.
Christy Curry calls a timeout in less than 2 minutes. Gonzaga off to a 7-0 run to start this third quarter. A 50-21 game with 8:18 left. A 50-21 game with 8:18 left in the third. Garrett Jones and the former Buckeye Marlene Stallings here with you, and unfortunately for your Buckeyes, Marlene, looks like they're going to come up a little bit short against Michigan again today. But fortunately for you, we've got some great college basketball for you this afternoon. You said that was the only thing that you missed the game for.
Well, I'm going to immerse myself into these games and try not to think about that. But I feel so bad for Coach Ryan Day. 1-3 now against the Wolverines. I believe he's 40-0 against the rest of the Big Ten.
Yeah. Just lock into the hoops this afternoon, pretend like it didn't even happen.
No doubt.
Ejim able to board it. Here comes Trong for Gonzaga. In front of so many friends and family on hand here, providing a ton of support for Gonzaga. They've been loud in this building over the past couple days. Coach 48 really taking this opportunity for them to get to come and play at home. They've certainly earned it. Looked like Ejim moved the pivot foot. The Trong sisters, graduates at Gonzaga. They came, their first year was COVID, 2019 to 20. Got the extra year, they've certainly taken advantage of it. Carly Weathers trying to get Alabama back into the game. And to shoot.
The Zags just not giving Alabama anything easy.
Williams with 3. Parker Williams lands it home.
Good bucket by Williams. That was highly contested. Tough shot.
Deljane, her nickname is Burger. I asked Coach Christy Curry about that nickname. She said it's kind of a boring story. There's nothing that really goes into it. Deljane's grandmother just started calling her Burger when she was little, and it's just stuck. Trong, no. Carly Weathers able to board it. Gonzaga by 27. First appearance of the tournament for Rachel Douglas. Newman. It's a rebound for Brianna Maxwell.
Great skip pass.
Draw can't hit. Ejim again cleans it up.
I really like that cross-court pass in transition. It opens up so much. Not able to knock down the shot, but Ejim right there for the putback.
See the rebounding battle. Very close overall, but Ejim has been a factor today. Berger Williams again off the glass.
And Gonzaga's right back at you. 3 Alabama players had not crossed half court, and Trong was already past half court there, coming right back after the make.
Look at that effort from Trong to volleyball tap it back in, and Gonzaga takes advantage. Lead back to 29.
I'll tell you what, Gonzaga works as hard as any team I've seen early on here in the season.
Williams again. She's been a nice spark off the bench for the Crimson Tide.
And they needed that.
This bench has been great as of late. Today, of course, the exception, but they came into this tournament averaging 23 points per game. Christy Curry said, we feel really good about our reinforcements. Unfortunately, it's just been a total domination from Gonzaga. Unfortunately for their case, I should say, a tie-up for Hollingsworth, and she draws the foul.
And there's an example of just the will to go get the ball. Hollingsworth was boxed out there by the Alabama player, and she still fought and got that rebound without causing an over-the-back call.
Mark Hybens back in. As you see Kaylee Trong get a bit of a breather. Maxwell fades away. Odie grabs the ball. Berger Williams, the transfer from Indiana State. Sarah Ashley Barker, ice cold to start this game. Williams again. What a start for her. She's got 11 off the bench. Did not play yesterday against Louisville.
She's certainly been a bright spot here for Alabama. A much needed bright spot.
The Crimson Tide forced to travel. Got our next time out. 4:38 left to play in the third. It's a 54-30 game. .54-30 ball game. Gonzaga in complete control. They have been the class of this tournament thus far. They destroyed Liberty yesterday by a 43-point margin. Sarah Ashley Barker in Alabama, an undefeated start to their season. They have been really awoken today with this incredible performance by the Bulldogs. First 2.5 quarters. Barker held to just 2 points off 1 of 5 shooting. Berger Williams.
And again, credit to Gonzaga's defense. Alabama is not getting anything easy on the offensive end of the board. Every shot is contested, not getting a lot of second shots. Credit to Gonzaga's defense.
Lot Hybens at the point for Gonzaga. A lot of reinforcements in for Coach Lisa Fortier. Eight to shoot for Hybens. Maxwell. A rare miss, and Carly Weathers grabs the rebound. Sarah Ashley Barker with a soft touch. One of the best scorers in the SEC with her 3rd and 4th points.
And hopefully that helps her get going a little bit. Nice little transition bucket. Cleanest look she's had all game.
Ejim responds. Yvonne Ejim with a game-high 17 points.
I'll tell you what, you cannot relax after you score against Gonzaga. They are flying right back at you. They have the mindset, you scored, we're going to come right back down your throat, and that's what they just did right there.
Weathers in the paint. That's coming back with Alabama. A big part will stay with Gonzaga. Esther Little, Eliza Hollingsworth back into the game.
You know, Gonzaga is the first team in history to have 3 players listed on the preseason Becky Hammond mid-major player of the year watch list, with Ejim, Maxwell, and Trong.
Here's Sarah Ashley Barker on the steal. Timmons lays it in. Alabama not going quietly. The lead down to 22. They trail by as many as 29.
Well, again, there's still plenty of time in this game. They just need to try to focus on getting it down to around 10, and it's a ball game. You got to make sure Gonzaga has to make sure they don't relax here, get too complacent. It's the coach's worst nightmare and fear, is having such a big lead and your team relaxing.
Alabama has not led for a second of this game. As you see Kaylin Trong head to the bench. Six to shoot. As since Cody fields the board. A 22-point game. Eliza Hollingsworth picks up her first. Just one on Alabama. This is Loyal McQueen. A steal for Hollingsworth.
And Hollingsworth read that the whole way. She got there before the ball did.
11th Alabama turnover of the day. Hollingsworth nearly rewarded on the 3. Zags reset. Strong no. And quietly, Gonzaga's missed 13 threes today, but it hasn't mattered because they've taken so many areas of the game so well today.
Yeah, so many other areas that they're outstanding in that's not really been a factor.
Barker fouled hard. And the Alabama bench doesn't like that contact. Right now they're just ruling it a personal foul. Hollingsworth just picked up her second.
There's something else about Gonzaga I notice is just their high basketball IQ. There are a lot of little things that I notice out here that they're doing, again, that you can't necessarily teach, but they definitely have a high IQ collectively as a team.
Sarah Ashley Barker at the line, a great story. She's playing so well, over 18 points per game coming in, struggling today, but started her career at Georgia, transferred to Alabama. Birmingham native, trying to will her team back into this game. They do get an offensive rebound off the free throw miss. Well, McQueen. Hydens commits the foul. Final minute of this third quarter. Newman works her way back in on Ejim, and Brianna Maxwell subbing back in for Coach Fortier. Gonzaga wanted a real neutral site test in this tournament. West Coast Conference really has gone through them for the past 2 decades or so. They won 22 straight at home. So no question what they can do at the Dog Pound up in Spokane. It was going to be a bit of a question of how they would respond in a neutral floor. They have come ready to play the moment the referees blew their whistles here at Katy thus far.
And credit to Coach Fortier and her staff for going on the road, playing in a tough tournament like this one, to really challenge her young women, to prepare them ultimately and essentially for March.
Newman, 5 points off the bench yesterday. Wow, what a great steal by Trong. That's Gonzaga's basketball.
Great hands by Trong there. Just a heads-up play. I love her grit.
Yeah, her high school coach, Tamara Collier, did too. Had a chance to talk with her earlier this week. She's now at Cinco Ranch right here in Katy after helping this group to get to 33-3 their senior year. She said, a funny story, Kaylee actually moved to the post as a senior after 3 years as the point guard. Said she was smart enough to do it all. Speaking of post, Ejim able to lay it in, and Gonzaga has the lead back to 21. Complete dominance by the Bulldogs.
Phenomenal quickness there to the basket. Wow, she looked like a guard.
58-37. We're headed to the fourth in game number 2 today at the Merrill Center. A 21-point spread. A look at today's games. A lot of great teams in the Benny and Van Chancellor Classics. A 21-point affair. Garrett Jones and Marlene Stallings. The final quarter. Carly Weathers on the kick out. Alabama has Rachel Douglas and several reinforcements into this game. Gonzaga fields the miss. The Bulldogs coach have just put on a clinic today in this 21-point game.
They really have. And they play just so fundamental, such fundamental basketball. And they're really enjoyable to watch.
This is Kaylee Trong. A rare miss for the Trong sisters. They have been ridiculous in this tournament. Kaylee had a career-high 25 points off 8 of 9 shooting. Burker Williams has been a nice spark plug. She leads Alabama with 11 points off the bench. A group that came in averaging over 20 per contest in the second unit. About 13 points for Burker Williams. Coach Christy Curry said some of the older kids have to step up. Williams, one that they've relied on over the past several contests.
Well, she's definitely been a bright spot for Alabama. They've really struggled to score. Williams has come in and given them a little bit of a lift in that category. They just need she needs a lot more help.
Esther Little gives it away on the Alabama basketball. Crimson Tide just 14% from deep today, 2 of 14. Gonzaga, meanwhile, has struggled a little bit, but they still knocked down 7 at a 30% rate. Sarah Ashley Barker. Just a tough day for a player who figures to be one of the better ones in the SEC. 5 points off 2 of 7 shooting.
A great chance for Alabama to make a run here. Gonzaga's really cooled off.
Douglas. One's off the side of the backboard. Essence Cody is fouled. Eliza Hollingsworth called for the bump. There's Jessica Timmons. Aylin Trong back in as well. Essence Cody, part of a sterling recruiting class for Alabama. Said it was really important to get to play in this tournament. Christy Curry did, because they wanted to continue to further their recruiting presence here in the Texas area. These tournaments, especially the non-conference, so big toward endearing yourselves to local recruits.
Well, Texas consistently is one of the top 2 high school recruiting grounds in the country. And so anytime you can bring your team here to play, it's advantageous to hopefully have some of those prospects attend and watch you live.
You'd think California and Florida probably in there as well, correct?
Arguably, there are a few other states that probably would like to claim that they're in that mix.
Right. Both these schools regional to both of those areas. Recruited at a very high level. And Gonzaga's found an archetype for them to fit into nicely. Hybens for Egypt. Hybens can't hit. Alabama outscoring Gonzaga 20-15 overall in this second half.
And definitely a chance for Alabama to cut it to 10 here while Gonzaga is gone ice cold.
Rachel Douglas fouled. And one of the members of that prize recruiting class going to the free throw line, the true freshman out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Curry, I'm just going to keep him encouraging my team here. They're a couple possessions away from getting this down to a 10-point game, and there's plenty of time left if you can get it to that point.
Now, Rachel Douglas has not gotten to play a lot, but Coach Christy Curry really included her in a mix of these underclassmen players. She said really this team in general, but Rachel Douglas specifically, is just a joy to coach. Said they barely scratched the surface on what they can be, and that's really saying something when you're off to a 6-0 start.
Absolutely. She talked a lot about being able to go deep in the bench, play the youngsters. And speaking of which, Essence Cody there with a big board. Again, a freshman that played really well yesterday in a big-time game. Her ceiling, again, is so high.
So look at Eliza Hollingsworth, who has been quiet today. 2 points off of 1 of 4 shooting. She's also picked up 3 fouls. Coming off a career-best 22 points yesterday.
Yes, I think Coach is going to rest Ejim through maybe the media here and get her back in. But Alabama's kind of quietly inching back in here.
I was going to say, it was a 29-point game. They cut the lead down to 15.
And they're scoring, so they're able to get into their press there, forcing Gonzaga into a timeout.
It's a 48, not wanting to wait around any further. She calls for the TO with 6:30 left to play in the game. It's a 58-44 fair in Katy.
Doubleheader.
Hybens with the lay-in right off the feed out of the timeout, and Gonzaga has hit 60 here in Katy.
Good timeout by Coach Fortier, and nothing better than come out of that timeout and get a bucket. They kind of hit a dry spell there, so that has to feel good for them.
Since Cody can't handle the rock. This will stay with Alabama. Jones, Marlene Stallings with you till the finish today. Second of 4 games on tap from the Merrill Center. Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Mississippi State up next. Weathers slips it in. She had a career-high 3 threes yesterday, and she's helped Alabama trim the lead down to 14.
Great body control to split 2 defenders and finish that. That was a tough shot.
And if you weren't with us for the first half, Gonzaga completely dominated. Went to the break with a 43-21 lead. A 7-0 burst in the third has helped them slip away. Hollingsworth with just 4 points today after 22 yesterday, but they'll certainly take it late.
Well, Gonzaga really responding after that Coach Fortier timeout. Just what you would expect from a veteran group.
Queen diced up. Now on Callie Stokes on the way to the 10. Gonzaga, no stranger to pulling away in the second quarter. They outscored Alabama 20-10 in that frame today. They put up 27 against Liberty yesterday. A 102-59 romp. Alabama's last game of this tournament will be Liberty tomorrow. An offensive foul on Loyal McQueen. Number 2 on Loyal. Only the first team foul of this quarter for Alabama. Strong slips it away. Stokes no. A very big athletic rebound, and McQueen up the shoot. Barker. Tough day for Sarah Ashley Barker. She has not hit a three-pointer. Alabama as a unit just 2 of 15 from outside. Maxwell. Wow, what a day for Brianna Maxwell. A game high 15 points.
Big bucket. Broken play. She fakes going towards the screen. Nice little pull-up jumper.
Ejim actually has 19 for Gonzaga, but Maxwell with a strong effort in her own right. Aaliyah Nye with the three, and Alabama's needed a little bit more of that earlier in this game. Gonzaga's been able to shut down the three-point line. Rare mistake there for Maxwell. Alabama trying to cash in. McQueen gets fouled. There'll be free throws coming. Eliza Hollingsworth called for the personal. Rachel Douglas back in. And we're talking about it a little earlier, but you think about the SEC, it's just such a tough league, and we're going to see another SEC team here in a matter of moments. Mississippi State taking on Arkansas Pine Bluff. Very good conference featuring South Carolina, of course, LSU, a top 10 team as well. Where do you think that Alabama fits into that mix?
Oh my, it's a tough conference, obviously, year in and year out. I like Alabama's team this year. You know, they can't get too down with this game if they don't end up coming back here. Gonzaga is easily a top 25 team, in my opinion. But I think Alabama's definitely a team that's going to, I think, finish higher than they have here in recent years, for sure. And it's credit to Coach Curry and her staff and how they've continued to build this program. You know, Coach Curry has over 100 wins at 3 different universities, and she knows how to do it. And I really like this group. She talked a lot about how well they get along off the court, the team camaraderie, and you can see that. She said they're a fun group to coach, and when you have that as a coach, great things are in store.
Gonzaga, undoubtedly the class of the West Coast Conference, and Coach Lisa Fortier's 10 seasons, they have only not won the West Coast Conference twice. It's been an unbelievable run for them. And a timeout on the floor with 3:09 left to play. Gonzaga cradling a 64-50 lead. See Christy Curry's huddle. We look at Sunday's game. We talked about next up for Alabama. They're going to face a feisty Liberty team. If you weren't with us for the morning session, Liberty really took it to Louisville. They had a 10-point lead in that game. In the end, the number 20 ranked Cardinals do get the job done and pull away to win by 9. Gonzaga Louisville, though, might be the game of the day tomorrow.
Another fun one. I mean, full slate of games again tomorrow. This has been an exciting tournament. I'm so happy to be here with you, Garrett, and enjoying our feast week together.
We were talking about the structure of the tournament. Checked in with Coach Van Chancellor, the namesake of the tournament. His wife Betty, of course, of 61 years, also the namesake of this bracket. Didn't know this, but we mentioned there was no elimination style, so they're not moving forward with the winner or losers bracket. But he said there are trophies for the winners of the tournament. If somebody goes 3-0, they're getting a trophy. If somebody else wins the other side of the bracket, they're getting a trophy. Gonzaga trying to add another one to their case.
Well, as long as you have to win,
right.
We don't want to give out any participation trophies at this tournament.
Not at all. They have a real shot to go 3-0 in a loaded field this weekend at the Betty Chancellor Classic.
I tell you what, I certainly wouldn't want to face Gonzaga tomorrow. If I'm Louisville, that's a tough task.
That's going to be interesting to see how the Cardinals start this game. So we're talking between, they've started really slow in this tournament. Leah Nye fouled on a 3-point shot as Alabama continues to move closer.
But for Louisville, you know, they pride themselves on their defense, and that's what it's going to take tomorrow. You have a ton of weapons. Gonzaga is feeling really good about themselves. They're in a great rhythm, great flow in this tournament. And Louisville has to come in with the mentality to disrupt that right from the jump. I mean, when the ball goes up from the official, put a butt in the gut and get it rolling. Gonzaga's got to feel them from the tip tomorrow.
Alabama 14 out of 19 at the free throw line today. Leonide, the great season last year, especially from three, second in the SEC last year in three-point statistics. You can see why they want to get her the ball on the outside. Her three shots end up 2 out of 3. Hallie Stokes has done a lot of good things for Gonzaga today. Another big rebound. 6 points and 7 boards.
Something that really stands out to me about Gonzaga here late in the game is they had a little lull there. Coach 48 calls a timeout, and just how they responded, definitely a mark of a veteran group.
Von Ejim able to crack the 20-point mark. She's got a game-high 21.
I really like her versatility.
Back to a 14-point lead.
She's explosive, deceptively quick.
Gonzaga's led by as many as 29. Essence Cody sticks with it. This is valuable experience for underclassmen as Ejim shows her veteran poise.
So definitely bode well for Cody come SEC tournament time and NCAA tournament time.
No doubt.
She's definitely growing up before our eyes here.
Alabama getting to the first round last year. Ejim. What more can she show you? 23 points for Von Ejim from the mid-range.
Well, she's showing us all the different ways in which she can score, and there are a lot of them.
Season high 23 points for her after an 18-point effort at Washington State.
I always told my staff to try to keep it to 2 to 3 major points on player personnel and a scout. With Ejim, I feel like you've got to extend that to maybe 5 or 6 different points.
Final 62 seconds of this game. As Burger Williams will go back to the line.
I think the committee that's in charge of the Becky Hammond Player of the Year award, if it comes down to one of these Gonzaga players, they're going to have a tough decision to make.
It's pretty good company to be in, Becky Hammond, with what she's done pioneering the women's game, especially on the sidelines. Turned to being a head coach in recent years. Ejim able to flank down the board.
Back-to-back WNBA championships.
Alabama choosing to foul despite being down 13. Crimson Tide will be in the bonus. Really the biggest thing that stands out when you look at the numbers in this game, the Crimson Tide just 3 out of 17 from deep. They did not get a three-pointer from Sarah Ashley Barker today.
Again, credit to Gonzaga. I thought their defensive physicality, intensity, their work ethic defensively really stood out early in this game.
Parker Williams with the steal. Shot clock and game clock about 6 seconds apart in this final minute. Cody. Oh, showing you the range. The bank is open, and it's down to just 10 points. See if Alabama fouls here. Strong works it in. It looks like as long as they can get out of a precarious spot, Gonzaga will just dribble it out. Well, a nice effort in the second half by Alabama, outscoring Gonzaga 37-25. But in the end, a brilliant effort from the Bulldogs. They go wire to wire nearly and will take a 10-point win over an SEC foe. Coach Stallings, your final thoughts on this game?
I continue to be extremely impressed by Gonzaga. Again, I think they're a top 25 team. And I'm looking forward to the matchup tomorrow against Louisville out of the ACC.
Certainly will be our big ticket game of the day. Coach Lisa Fortier and company get the win by a final of 68-58. For our awesome team in the truck and my broadcast partner Marlene Stallings, I'm Garrett Jones saying so long, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. We got another one coming up your way as Mississippi State takes on Arkansas Pine Bluff in approximately 30 minutes. We'll see you then. Thanks so much for watching.